So we can take these questions now. You're welcome. You're welcome, Risha. And know that I love you and you're doing the right thing. You're doing the right thing. You know, when I sat down and I thought about when I thought about the woman that I was becoming didn't want a lot of things that I was accustomed to. I knew that I was going to be in a process where I was going to be changing, evolving, and going through a place of transformation. And with that being said, I knew that the things that I were letting go wasn't going to support those type of things in my life. So I had to do that. Does anybody else have any other questions? What time is it? Okay. Rebuilding your life is not easy, but it's best, especially when you know why you're doing it. That's why the relationship with God is so important, because like I said, God has a plan for your life. It's like the blueprint for your life. He has that. And so because God has that blueprint, it doesn't matter how it feels. Okay, Alicia. It doesn't. Hey, Miranda. It doesn't matter how it feels. God knows the plan that He has for you. I said God knows. It don't matter what nobody says about you or what other people may assume about you. God has the plan that He has for your life. Alicia says, I have a friend who has a baby father who is going through a breakup with his baby mother, and he is confused. I keep trying to encourage and support him to walk away with advice. What advice can I give him? You know, sit down with him and ask him why he doesn't, what's keeping him. Because sometimes when you get in these type of relationships where there's a child involved, there's many reasons why people hold on to these relationships. Because, believe it or not, people love their children. And they know that sometimes they're going to be punished. If they say they don't want to be in a relationship with you anymore, means that I can't see my child anymore. So sit down with your friend and ask him why. Don't assume, because sometimes we don't listen to the people that we want to encourage. Listen to what they're saying. Listen to their hearts. And it may not make sense to us initially, and it may sound crazy, but listen to their heart's pains, and that way we can be able to better encourage them. Because maybe it could be because of the child. Maybe he feels like I'm not going to be able to see my child. You'll be surprised. There are some men that will stick around because they don't want to be on child support, so they will continue to play games with their baby mama just so the baby mama don't put them on child support. There's many factors why people are afraid to walk away when it comes to this baby mothers. I say baby mothers because that whole baby mama, baby daddy type of thing has never really been my thing, with my relationship with my ex-husband, even though, and I said this before, even though me and him are no longer together, I've never made it hard for him to see his child. I would never do that, because my relationship, his relationship with his son, that's between him and his son. And it's very important that if he decides that he doesn't want to be a part of his son's life, that's going to be something he's going to have to live with. I won't be blamed for that, because I'm not going to make it hard. But a lot of women don't think that way. They figure like they can use a child as a pawn. And sometimes that's the reason why some guys feel like I'm never going to see my child. We have men out here who try hard to be a part of their children's lives and are suffering. And then you have men who don't want to be a part of their children's lives, and these women will chase them. It just all depends. So my advice to you is sit down and ask your friend why. What's making it so hard? What's making it so hard? Richard said, I've been praying and I feel good. I feel God is changing and healing me and wanted me to leave. I feel He's talking to me through my oldest son. Yes. Let me tell you something. Whatever God says in you, He will confirm it. He will confirm it. God is not the author of confusion. He's not. He's not going to put us in a place where we're going to be confused. You just got to trust Him. And that's the reason why building a relationship with God is so important, so that you can learn to trust Him, so that you can learn God's voice in your life. And don't allow other people's voices to override that. Miranda says, I have a friend who was talking to an Army guy, and she really likes him, but she asked him to quit to be with her. And of course, he is asking for a leave to come and be with her. Is that wrong of her to ask?
Pressure.
When it comes to relationships, mutual, and these feelings, that when you have mutual feelings, I don't know the extent of their relationship, When it comes to building relationships, you got to be on and that's why it's very difficult when we have friends and we have family that we want to rescue and we want to come to their aid. You have to be very careful because, a lot of relationships that we get involved in and we want to help out is one-sided. And we quickly want to support our friends, but you got to ask your friends and your family that are asking or doing or want you to get involved in their relationships, why are they really there? What's really going on in their relationship? And you got to be very careful stepping into other people's relationships, giving them advice about certain stuff because you don't know the bigger picture. You don't know the whole story. That's the reason why I use my own thing. Now, this Army thing and who wants to separate and getting him to leave or whatever, I don't think it's, I don't think it's right or wrong. It just depends on the couple. It just depends on them, what's going to work for them.
What is mindset?
Yeah. What's going to work for them. Because my thing is that's why it's when having a relationship for me, friends, family, or maybe in the near future a husband, I know what I really want to do, and I want people that in my life that will support my vision and my goal and my dream, not to try to get me to come away from it because see, some people are insecure in their relationships, and so they don't want you out of their sight. They want you sitting up underneath them 24/7. That's the only way I'm going to feel safe. That's the only way I'm going to feel secure. And so they'll ask you to do some ridiculous stuff. You got some women who feel safe with a man that sleep on her couch 24/7. He ain't got a job. She can get up and work all day long, but he's gonna be at home, and she feels good about him being home. You got some women who feel threatened by a person being able to go out and provide because they feel like now they don't need him. We live in a world right now that if you don't know yourself, you're gonna get lost in these relationships. You really are.
Good thing you say that to Missy. A lot of especially it have to do doing with self-esteem. A lot of people have low self-esteem.
Well, it is. I remember. I can recall. In my relationship, just how insecure and of a mess I was. And then when I came out of that and I began to sit down and begin to get a chance to really know myself, I was frustrated because I knew nothing about myself. I was so interested in being what other people wanted me to be that it was difficult for me to get the chance to know who I am and love myself from a genuine place.
You said the word. You have to love yourself before somebody can love you. If you don't love yourself, how you expect people to love you? So that's the problem that we have with those young men and also the young female these days. They try to put like a show, this and that, but deep inside they are dying inside, but they put in a show for a fake show. So if you don't love yourself, don't expect somebody to love you. If you just if you settle for less, you're going to get less.
Miranda says, but she is 21 and he is 39, but he treats her like a queen and he would do anything for her. Do you think that the age difference is a big deal? Again, let me say this. It's apparent that a lot of this stuff, right, is opinions. I can each person is all. I don't seen some 39-year-olds more immature than a 21-year-old. So when it comes to an age thing, that stuff is a lot of opinions and stuff, and I don't know what your interest is in your friend's relationship or whatever, but it's apparent that that's where she wants to be, and it's apparent that's where he wants her to be. And so at that point, anything that you say or do is really going to be your opinion only. And I don't think that, what is your role in your friend's relationship to the point where these questions are so important to you? Is she being mistreated? What is your role? What are you gaining from this? Because I can disagree with a person's relationship all day long, but it's your opinion. It's just how you may feel about it.
I'm with the Army guy, Miranda say.
So you're with the Army guy. So what do you want from him? How do you feel about it? The biggest question is, because if you're starting to ask questions about, am I wrong for being a 21-year-old with a 39-year-old? If you're starting to have questions about your relationship, then that's when you need to sit down and ask yourself, are you in this relationship for all the right reasons?
It's because they got benefits?
Because sometimes, you say you're being treated like a queen. Somebody can come along and do nice things for me, but if my heart is not into that person or whatever, then I'm being deceptive. I'm leading them on, and that's not fair. So for you to have those type of questions, the biggest question is, do you really want the relationship, or do you want what you can get from the relationship? That's a question that you're going to sit down and have to ask yourself. So if you really want that relationship, then you being 21 and him being 39 is not going to matter. Yeah. It's not going to matter. If you really want to be with him and you really want, then it's not going to matter. It's not going to matter.
Are you in there for the good reasons? Mm-hmm. Or are you in there for the money or the benefits? That's a lot of people do not understand. He's the sugar daddy. A lot of females looking for a sugar daddy.
You're welcome, baby. This is all about you all. So if anybody got any more questions, feel free to ask now. For anybody who has questions, this is about you. Your hard work is a lifetime of work. I don't know. I can't see it.
Yeah, you good. There's another one, Alicia. Alicia said,
I feel like someone with that. You have a call coming in.
Big age of difference. Yeah, Alicia said that with a big age difference. Let's see, give it to you.
Okay. I feel like someone that with that big of an age difference, there is a lot of deception, because at 21 you're not as experienced. You're getting another call. That's the reason why when it comes to relationships, sitting down and having a relationship, you got to know who you really are going in a relationship, and you got to be really honest with yourself when you go into these relationships. Any type of relationship, you got to be very honest with yourself. And I know sometimes when I ask myself the honest questions, I'm talking about privately asking myself some honest questions. You already know the answer, but a lot of times we talk ourselves into certain things because of what we actually want to really do. You already know what you really want to do.
Hello.
So yes, well, if no one else has any more questions, you know what? We're going to wrap it up today. I'm sorry that I was a little bit tardy today, but your hard work is a lifetime of work. Your hard work is my hard work. My hard work is your hard work. But at the end of the day, we got to remember that we're at a place right now where we can begin to rebuild our lives, but we have to make we have to really truly sit down and reflect on where we are and where we actually want to be at, because we're making decisions about where we're going, and we're trying to take things with us that don't belong. It doesn't belong in our life anymore. It's time for us to let some stuff go, let some people go. It's time to clear some things out of our life, and it's time for us to begin to rebuild according to God's will. If you want that life that God has chosen for you, you're going to have to be mindful of why you're doing what you're doing. You got to be very mindful about where you actually want to go. I'm glad you all are joining me. Thank you so much for this, for the support that you all have. So before I wrap it up, I do want to remind you all, don't forget about your stocking stuffers. Some good ideas for stocking stuffers, like my book, The Scars of the Chosen, which is available on Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com. Get that book now, because a sequel will be coming out next year in 2018 to that actual book. So you want to make sure that you pick that book up in Amazon, available on Amazon.com or BarnesandNoble.com. It's available on a Nook. You can download on Nooks or Kindles. The sequel will be coming out very, very soon. I have an amazing event planned for that book, the sequel of the book. And I'll let you all know the information in the near future. But we got an amazing event going around coming out for that. So just be mindful of that. This is Your Hard Work, and I thank you for joining me on Your Hard Work Power 106 FMKY. Thank you so much for joining me, and that is it for today. Remember, this is about you guys. So get your questions ready. Always have your questions ready. You can leave comments. You can inbox me your questions, and so when we have the opportunity to talk about different things, we will do that. We will do that. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you. Can you turn that off for me, please? Because I'm all the way over here. I'm transparent. I'm very transparent. So.